Welcome to Paper Mill Prologues. It is with much joy and gratitude that we usher in this winter season with a show that celebrates generosity of spirit and human kindness. Featuring unforgettable contributions to the American songbook, White Christmas delivers a flurry of Irving Berlin's most beloved tunes. The goal of Prologues is to give our audience an extra layer of insight and context for our productions by exploring some of the themes, histories, and cultural relevance behind each show. What we provide is by no means exhaustive, and we encourage you to continue to explore any topics we raise here on your own. You can also reference our works cited list at the end of the video to dig even deeper. In this video, we'll be taking a closer look at Berlin's catalog, which so heavily contributed to the canon of American music, and how a nostalgic musical of our past can still resonate and inspire us today.
Israel Balin, later to be known as Irving Berlin, was born May 11, 1888, in Imperial Russia. At the age of 5, he immigrated to New York City with his family, escaping the brutal pogroms. His father, a synagogue cantor to whom he owed much of his early musical exposure, passed when he was just 13, and Israel left school in the 6th grade to make money doing whatever various odd jobs he could find, including as a singing waiter in Chinatown's Pelham Cafe. He spent time in Tin Pan Alley, where songwriters gathered and composed, trying to eke out a living. In 1907, he co-wrote the song Marie from Sunny Italy. The sheet music had the composer listed as I. Balin, but the printer got it wrong, and it was published as I. Berlin. Thinking it sounded more American, he kept the name and changed his first to Irving. Just 4 years later, he would publish Alexander's Ragtime Band, which sold over 2 million copies of sheet music in its first 2 years. At only 23 years old, Irving Berlin's career was already on the ascent. A career that resulted in a catalog of over 1,200 songs, so many of which are counted among the most beloved in all of Americana. And Americana is no one thing. It is a mixture of myriad traditions and cultural contributions that make up the music of a vast and varied country. Irving Berlin was inspired by this country and by the place for himself he found in it. He was not taught to read and write music, but learned it on his own and through what he heard and saw around him. And so, Irving Berlin, a Jewish Russian immigrant who wrote iconic songs of Christmas, ragtime, and Hollywood, is in fact the quintessential representative of that social fusion that is America. While his catalog is full of songs with unbelievable longevity, God Bless America is one song that is heard from season to season in arenas and ballparks across the nation. Berlin's daughter, Mary Ellen Barrett, stated that the song was actually very personal for her father, and was intended as an expression of his deep gratitude to the nation for merely allowing him, an immigrant raised in poverty, to become a successful songwriter. To me, said Berlin, God Bless America was not just a song, but an expression of my feeling toward the country to which I owe what I have and what I am. The Economist magazine wrote that Berlin was producing a deep-felt paean to the country that had given him what he would have said was everything. The song is not just an anthem, but a beacon of hope in times of struggle. In 1973, Irving Berlin himself led a rendition at a White House reception for returning prisoners of war from Vietnam. He also sang the song on The Ed Sullivan Show a month after the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And just hours after the September 11th attacks in 2001, members of Congress gathered on the Capitol steps and joined together in song. Berlin once stated that, "Of all the songs I've written, this is the closest to my heart." Many artists have contributed to the American music tradition, and many inspired Berlin himself. But even the giants of American music agree that Berlin holds an untouchable place in our musical history. George Gershwin called him the greatest songwriter that ever lived, and Jerome Kern noted that Irving Berlin has no place in American music. He is American music.
Oh, how I hate to get up in the morning. Oh, how I'd love to remain in bed.
At the time it was written, Berlin's music resonated with American society and with the musicians who performed it. There was no single type of artist that the music belonged to. It was sung by women, men, white, and of color. And artists of all genres and backgrounds continue to embrace his music, finding new ways to interpret and deliver his brilliance from generation to generation.
I can do anything better than you.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Dressed up like $1 million trooper, trying hard to look like Gary Cooper.
If you're blue and you know where to go to, why don't you go where Harlem sits? Working on the red.
Heaven!
Heaven!
Yes, I'm in heaven.
I'm in heaven!
And my heart beats so that I can hardly speak.
People like show people, they smile when they are low. Yesterday they told you you would not go far. At night you open and there you are.
While God Bless America is certainly a defining song for Berlin's relationship to his adoptive home, there is another song that most definitely epitomizes his popularity, longevity, and understanding of American sentimentality. And with its first performance on live radio coming just 17 days after the attack on Pearl Harbor, White Christmas also finds itself within the zeitgeist of World War II. World War II brought with it many war-related songs and songs of nostalgia. Some songs referenced specific wartime events, while others were more general and referenced distant loves or thoughts of home. Many of these songs were written by Broadway songwriters, and, general or topical, they kept the war in the ears of the listening public. This offered a way for artists to contribute not only to the morale on the home front, but to the direct support of wartime efforts. Not surprisingly, Berlin was one of the most prolific and patriotic writers of these popular songs. In 1941, he wrote, "Any Bonds Today."
Any bonds today, bonds of freedom, that's what I'm selling. Any bonds today. Scrape up the
Berlin, both on his own and at the government's encouragement, continued to write songs to support America's war initiatives. Other songs included "I Paid My Income Tax Today" and "There Are No Wings on a Foxhole." But even more popular were the general songs that found their way into the hearts of war-weary Americans. Songs that provided poignancy, hope, and perhaps some melancholy, but rejected defeatism. Songs that evoked the loneliness of the absent soldier, like "I Left My Heart at the Stage Door Canteen" and "I'm Getting Tired So I Can Sleep." And of course, White Christmas, whose message so perfectly captures the heartbreaking longing for home.
Of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know.
Bing Crosby recorded the song in 1942, and that same year it made its first film appearance in Holiday Inn, starring Crosby and Fred Astaire. The song won the Oscar for Best Song and hit #1 on the charts repeatedly. In fact, it would go on to hold the title of best-selling single of all time until the 1990s. Because of the song's enduring popularity, particularly during the World War II years, it was only natural that Hollywood would want to capitalize on it. So, work began on another film, for which it would be the title number, and, unlike Holiday Inn, would place the song in a wartime context. This approach proved a great success, and in 1954, White Christmas was the top-grossing film of the year. Many musicals have used the holiday season as a backdrop for song and dance. It can provide moments of high excitement, emotion, tension, family struggle, faith, and joy. Judy Garland's Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas and Meet Me in St. Louis certainly provides a big tug at our homesick heartstrings.
Next year all our troubles will be miles away.
And Angela Lansbury's We Need a Little Christmas from Mame is a cheery anthem you can't help but sing along to.
Carols at the spinet, yes, we need a little Christmas right this very minute. It hasn't.
Fill every stocking with laughter. We have enough room for anyone gloom. Let's ring every bell from its rafter.
Christmas bells are ringing, Christmas bells are singing on TV, at Saks.
We're going Christmas, on mistletoe we Christmas, on Christmas sing Christmas to you. On Christmas sing Christmas to you.
But the holiday backdrop for White Christmas is just that, a backdrop. The story itself centers on a community, one that was brought together in difficult times and forged deep bonds. No matter what holidays we each observe, that idea of community is something we can all celebrate. The characters in White Christmas join together not only to help a beloved friend, but to save an establishment in peril. White Christmas may appear as simple holiday fare, but its message is one that celebrates kindness without an agenda and generosity in a time of need. A message that rings particularly true on our stage. In 2007, Paper Mill Playhouse was about to close its doors. The upcoming production of Seven Brides for Seven Brothers, set to open the following week, was going to be canceled. After 69 years, the institution that sought to bring New Jersey creativity, imagination, and education through theatrical excellence was set to bring the curtain down. The theater needed to raise over $1 million in a matter of days, and the outlook was grim. There were many factors that contributed to the situation the theater found itself in. But there was one main factor that saved it: community. The people, the dedicated audiences, students, parents, performers, crew members, educators, employees, and residents of Millburn and Short Hills and the surrounding areas. In time, and in great part due to the relationship with the township of Millburn and Short Hills, Paper Mill found the financial backing it needed. But that was not what kept the lights on and the doors open at that fateful moment. It was how the community rallied around the institution it loved. It was the little gifts, the what you can afford to give gifts. In those very first days, the largest donation was $500. The theater was not saved by deep pockets, but by those who cared, and that provided the time necessary to secure Paper Mill's future. A future that has continued to reflect the warmth and camaraderie of Berlin's joyous White Christmas through the continued generosity of our donors and supporters over the years.
Thank you for being part of our support system, our community, our family. Thank you for spending your time with us, watching the heartwarming stories we know and love, and embracing the new, unexpected stories that are yet to come. We are so grateful to be here and to do what we do, not for you, but with you. May your days be merry and bright, and as always, enjoy the show.